Every year, several students in Iowa graduate from high school without being college or career ready. Now imagine how you would feel if that was your child or someone else you were close to. This is an important problem because students are not only the future of Iowa, but for the rest of the world. I have researched this topic thoroughly, and I've also wrote a paper on it for a composition class that I took in high school. Public schools in Iowa need more state funding to provide the best learning environment, the most effective teachers, and to make sure that every student is ready to take on the next level of education by the time they graduate from high school. There are many schools in Iowa that would benefit from more state aid. The issue is not only that schools across the state have lack of funding, but schools in the same area are receiving unequal fundings. In a questionnaire that I sent to 5 classmates, all 5 agreed that there are some schools in Iowa that have more benefits than others. This laptop is something that my school provided to every one of our students. There are several schools in our area that do not have benefits like this. According to Valerie Strauss, a writer for the Washington Post, public schools that provided their students with the best equipment produce the highest test scores. There are also schools that exist in the same area or community where one school might have better learning equipment or higher quality teachers. And these same schools, one might also have more dropouts each year than the other. This is an example of how not all public schools in Iowa are equal. When talking about state spending, if we prioritize funding public schools, it could help solve the problem. This could be as simple as just providing more state aid to every public school across the state. This would mean every school in Iowa would have the same benefits. It would mean that all students would get the right education no matter what school they decided to attend. Earlier this year, the Des Moines Register wrote that Iowa's state budget was one of the key issues facing Iowa's legislators this year. This article also writes about how Iowa should provide more state aid to our public schools. Also, according to Rod Boshart, writer for the Gazette, there has already been several education groups pushing for a school funding increase. This shows that the problem exists and that people are already trying to solve it. If this solution is effective, many public schools would improve. All public schools would receive the tools and benefits that they might not have had before. More students will be ready to take on the next level of education or start a career from the moment they graduate. All students will get the education they deserve and their future will be brighter. With more aid to our public schools, the Iowa education system will only improve. In conclusion, with more state funding in all public schools, every school will receive the right learning equipment, enough quality teachers, and a healthy learning environment to make sure that every student is college or career ready by the time they graduate. If any of you have attended a school or know someone that has attended a school with less benefits, I'm sure you can relate. We need to make sure all public schools have enough money to support their students because students are the future of Iowa and we cannot afford them growing up without a proper education.